What's good, everybody? So, today's video is about Eli Manning and how and why did he get snubbed the second time. Like, I understood the first time, but the second time? But you let Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald get in on first try. Seeing that Larry Fitzgerald and Eli Manning came to the same draft class in '04. Now, obviously, Larry Fitzgerald never won anything. He don't have a championship to his name. Drew Brees won championship, but he broke a lot of records. I think sometimes there's people out there that don't want to see you succeed because you had a mediocre career. I believe Eli Manning chose the right team to go to. It's New York, big market. It's very hard to win in New York versus winning in sunny San Diego, right? So, that's why the NFL is the way that they are, right? And it's sad. It really is. If this was the NBA, WWE, Hall of Fame, Eli Manning would have gotten in. But the NFL have this sick obsession with players that don't meet the criteria. Right, Eli Manning got traded. Didn't want to go to the team that selected him, which I get. I guess he wanted to prove to his family that he can, be in this league. Like he wanted to make it harder for himself. He chose the only team that it's hard to win. It's cold almost every year around January and December. I mean, the Giants haven't won a Super Bowl since, like, if you take those two Super Bowls away from the 90s and 80s, we made an appearance early 2000s. We got smoked by the Ravens. Obviously, the defense was insane. And after that, we never sniffed another Super Bowl. Played for the NFL for action. I think you have to look at longevity, right? Eli Manning had Tom Coughlin from 2004 all the way to 2017. Sean Payton had Drew Brees for a very long time. Now you could say, well, Drew Brees had better offensive coordinators than Eli. Which you can say true because you are fixated on OCs you have. So there are good OCs or bad OCs. Okay. Eli Manning didn't have a great OC until Ben McAdoo. And I know people want to say, well, Ben McAdoo, for that 1 year, for that 1 year that the Giants made the playoffs and obviously laid an egg, Eli Manning had the best statistical season in his career. For that one season, he threw less touchdowns and he threw a lot of interceptions. He threw less interceptions and he threw more touchdowns because the same offensive coordinator that was the McAdoo, he was the same coordinator who turned Aaron Rodgers around, right? Okay, so imagine Eli having a very good OC in the beginning of his career who didn't have to throw that many interceptions. He did. Bearside did throw a lot of interceptions, but he's so well known that it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Like Eli Manning can lead the league in interceptions 3 straight years, right? But you know what? You know what everybody's gonna bring up? He beat Tom Brady twice. So he didn't really beat Tom Brady twice, but the defense had to, do their part in the last 2 drives, or the last 2 Super Bowls. You could say Eli Manning set up those 2 drives for the defense to stop Tom Brady. But that's what people don't understand. Like, offense doesn't win you games, they score points. Defense wins you games because they have to get the stops when the ball. But yeah, man, it's sad. You're gonna wait that this man is dead to freaking usher him into the Hall of Fame? And I get it. Again, first try, no. Second try, you don't get it in the second try. But you give the nod to Drew Brees, who only has a 1 Music League championship, and you give the nod to Larry Fitzgerald. And I love Larry Fitzgerald. I don't really love him like that, but I respect his craft. He was probably like the last wide receiver that never complained. He was never a diva in my eyes. He was never a diva in my eyes. He was professional. He stuck with the team since '04. He made 1 Super Bowl appearance, which a lot of fans thought the Cardinals should have won. And the Cardinals was not really that bad that year, neither. They were stacked. But when you have Kurt Warner as your quarterback, so anyways, man, hopefully he can get it his 3rd time. 3rd time is a charm. But it's and Drew Brees, obviously he was a backup quarterback, San Diego behind Phillip Rivers. He got traded to New Orleans, and the rest was history. They built around him, then won the state championship in '09, and ever since they tried to repeat as champions, or not even repeat, they tried to go back to back as champions, but they didn't get the job done. And he had a lot of great talent around him. 2 good running backs, Bush and Pierre Thomas. He had a lot of good receivers in Meacham, Lance, obviously Jeremy Shockey. So, and then he had that defense. That was the one time that he had a very good defense. And I think 2016 or 17, they also had a great defense as well. But other than that, he never went back to the championship or Super Bowl. Eli Manning won there twice. Now you could say, well, statistically, Eli Manning doesn't measure, right? Like if you take Drew Brees' stats, you compare him to Eli Manning's stats, not even close. So I just say this before. Be patient, your time will come. Be patient, your time will come.